Ooh. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you didn't see in that mirror that I currently don't have any pants on. But today is Friday, November 3rd. The meet is tomorrow. So, this is going to be exciting. I'm really excited about this team. I'm super excited. It's going to be my first meet. Peak went well. I'm going to talk about the peak later today. Today's going to be mainly, is that zooming in or out? I think that's zooming out. Good. Today's going to be mainly driving to the meet, weighing in. Then I'll explain all of that stuff. And then actually the plan for this video, because I got a really good question in the comments the other day that I want to talk about because it can be kind of confusing. And after the person asked this question, it actually made me think of what exactly is going on when I'm actually doing these three movements. I'm going to be kind of vague right now, but I'll go into more detail a little bit later. Anyway, let's get ready. Let's go. Let's shave because, again, I'm looking kind of like a bum. I let everything grow out for a little bit. And I'll see you guys soon or later. I don't know. I'll see the team sooner or later.
What's up, bud?
Doing well, how are you?
Great, man. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. 269. Yeah.
The weight class is 75, right?
Yeah.
That's why you always make sure you're recording. What's up, team? So I'm here at the hotel. It's actually really nice. I don't know why I had 3 stars, but quick funny story before I actually start the rest of this video. So I had to carry a bunch of stuff from my car up to the hotel room, right? Obviously a bunch of film equipment, my tripod, my camera, all this stuff. And I have 2 tripods, a smaller one and this big one. And there was a lady that worked here, and she saw me bring things up and down, right? And she was like, excuse me, sir, what is it that you're gonna be filming here? And I was like, what do you think? And she was like, sir, just so you know, hotel policy says that there's no... I cut her off. I'm like, don't worry, I'm not gonna be filming anything funky in the room. It's okay. And I was like, wow, really? So I just thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, let's talk real quick about my taper, okay? Actually, I'll just have some footage playing. Everything this past week went well. I still worked out. I went in twice this week, and you'll see the numbers for the days that I went in. It was on day 2 and day 3. I did squat, bench, and deadlift on both days. Nothing super heavy. I believe on day 1, I deadlift 2x1 at 617. I squatted 2x1 at 495. Benched 3x1 at 320. And then the second day, which was Thursday, I benched 3x1 at 295. 3x1 at 575 for deadlift, 3x1 at 465 for the squat. Nothing super serious. The week before that, I tested my openers. My openers are going to be 350 or 355. Deadlift is going to be 685, and squat is going to be 565. I'm very happy with how the squat progressed. I was actually expecting to maybe open with 540 or 530, but like you guys saw in the videos before, I was able to hit 585 for an easy single on squat, so I'm hoping to get upwards of 600 pounds on my squat, which makes me super amped. Because like I said, there's a lot of room for improvement on that movement. There's a lot of room for growth in that movement, and if I can get a lot more out of that, I can have a big total in the future. So that excites me. I'm excited because tomorrow's gonna be fun. I feel really fresh, even though I worked out this week. A lot of guys in the gym weren't really working out much, but I still got some lifts in this week. I feel extremely recovered just because if you look on the sheet, the percentages really weren't that high, so I didn't really need to worry about that. Oh, you see this guy? They went out to eat and they didn't call me. Give me a second. All right, so that was Dan, AKA, people know him as Fat Dan, except he's not that fat. He's pretty big, he's a big dude, strong dude. But let's talk about what I was gonna talk about in this video, and that was a question that someone asked me on one of the videos, or on a comment someone left, and it really got me thinking because I made a video about bracing the past. I'm gonna put the link to that video in the bio, and I'm also going to, I'll just put a link to that in the bio so you guys can check that out. It's on my old channel, Break the Bar. I talk about bracing your core for strength. But he asked, is there a difference in the way you brace when you bench, squat, and deadlift? And I thought about it, and I recorded my lifts on the very last day of peaking on Thursday. And I wanted to show you guys the differences in the way I brace when I'm squatting, benching, and deadlifting. So let's talk about the squat first, because that's what I started with. Now, for the squat and deadlift, okay, there's a common theme of what happens when I brace. I exhale, and I exhale all of the air out of my abs, okay, so forceful exhalation, but the key of exhaling is I want to keep my thoracic spine as straight as possible. So I'm not exhaling and going like this, right? I'm keeping my rib cage over my pelvis, keeping my rib cage over pelvis, exhaling, getting tight, and then while I'm bracing, while I'm flexing, okay, I breathe into the flexed abdomen. So I do that on both of my squat and my deadlift, and as you'll see here, you'll see that forceful exhalation on my squat, okay, then a big breath into the abs while they're flexed, and then I descend, and then I come back up, and then I exhale at the top. For the deadlift, it's the same deal. As you'll see right here, I forcefully exhale, okay, I don't round my back, I keep my rib cage above my pelvis because I want to keep a neutral thoracic spine. Exhale, then I go down, grab the bar, breathe into flexed abs, and lift the bar. Now, there's a difference in how I brace for my bench press versus the way I brace for my deadlift and my squat. The big theme of breathing into the diaphragm is still there, but the difference here is that instead of forcing all the air out, I take when I set up my arch and I get underneath the bar, I take a deep breath into my diaphragm, I fill it up, then I flex. Okay, so unlike the squat and the deadlift, where I exhale all my air out, get tight, and then inhale into my abdomen while I'm flexing it. Remember that. You want to inhale, like it's almost like your abs are steel, you know, like those clean canteens or steel bottles. Imagine that it's flexed and you're breathing into a closed system. You're breathing into a flexed abdomen, okay? On the bench, I take a deep breath into the diaphragm like I'm letting my tummy out, right? And then I flex and I pull the bar out. So that's the difference. The big thing, like I mentioned, breathing into the diaphragm is still there, but there's a slight difference in how I brace on the bench press. So this is just a quick overview on how I brace for the big three, but like I mentioned, that video in the bio, that video I made in the past about diaphragmatic breathing. I also have another video on this channel about how to breathe into your diaphragm, so I'll link that below too. Those will go a little bit more in depth on how to do it and a few exercises so you can learn how to breathe into the diaphragm, because a lot of people are chest breathers and they'll breathe up here in their chest and you'll see their chest come up, but what happens when the chest comes up? Curvature in the thoracic spine, and you don't want any of this shit happening when you're benching, squatting, or deadlifting. You want to stay neutral. So that is all for today. I'm very excited. One day out. Meet us tomorrow on Saturday. I'm amped. I'm excited. Let's hope I don't bomb out. But yeah, that's it. I'll also place the link for the meet if you guys want to stream it. It's going to be in my bio, so check it out. This is Nsima the Centaur Inyang from Break the Bar. I love you, team. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for watching these videos. And if you have any questions, go ahead and comment them down below. I will be sure to help you out. And I will talk to you all very, very soon.